On a cold Christmas night, a lonely billionaire sat inside his massive mansion, surrounded by everything money could buy but missing the one thing he needed most, love. He had millions in his bank account, but his home felt empty. Then, a simple act of kindness from a struggling mother changed his life forever and showed him that the greatest treasures are not bought with money. Before we begin this heartfelt story, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to Kindness Legacy, where we share inspiring stories that remind us of the power of compassion, hope, and kindness. Daniel Carter was known across America as one of the most successful businessmen in the world. His company had thousands of employees, his name appeared in newspapers, and people admired his wealth. But behind the expensive suits and luxury cars was a father who felt completely alone. 3 years earlier, Daniel had lost his wife in a tragic accident. Since then, he had tried to stay strong for his young daughter, Emily. But his busy schedule and constant work slowly created a distance between them. He could give Emily anything she wanted, but he could not give her the one thing she missed the most, a happy family. Christmas had always been Emily's favorite time of year. She loved the lights, the music, and the feeling of people coming together. But that Christmas, Daniel noticed the sadness in her eyes. Their huge house was decorated beautifully, yet it felt colder than ever. On Christmas Eve, Daniel decided to leave the mansion and drive through the city alone. He wanted to escape the silence and remember what Christmas used to feel like before his life became only about business and success. As he drove through a quiet neighborhood, he noticed a small mother and child sitting outside a closed store. The mother was holding a worn-out blanket around her little boy, trying to keep him warm. Their clothes were old, and it was clear they were struggling. Daniel stopped his car and watched from a distance. Many people walked past them, too busy with their own lives to notice. But the mother smiled at every person who passed by, even wishing them a Merry Christmas. Curious, Daniel walked closer and asked the woman if she needed help. The mother, whose name was Sarah, looked surprised. She thanked him but said, "There are others who need help more than we do." Daniel was confused. He had never heard someone with so little worry about themselves so much about others. He asked her why she was not asking for money or food for herself and her son. Sarah smiled gently and replied, "Because kindness is the one thing we can always give, even when we have nothing else." Those words stayed in Daniel's heart. He learned that Sarah had lost her job months earlier and was struggling to find a new home for her and her son, Michael. Despite her difficulties, she spent her days helping other homeless families by sharing food whenever she could. Daniel looked at the mother and son and saw something he had not seen in years, true happiness. They had almost nothing, yet they had compassion, gratitude, and love. He invited Sarah and Michael to a nearby restaurant and bought them a warm meal. During dinner, Michael talked excitedly about Christmas decorations and his dream of becoming a firefighter one day. Daniel listened carefully, realizing that he had spent years buying expensive gifts but had forgotten the importance of simply being present. That night changed something inside Daniel. Instead of returning to his mansion and forgetting about the people he met, he decided to take action. He helped Sarah find a safe home, supported her in finding a job, and started a foundation to help struggling families across the country. Months later, Daniel's life looked completely different. He still had his successful company, but now he spent more time with his daughter. Emily noticed that her father smiled more often. Their home finally felt warm again. One Christmas morning, Daniel invited Sarah and Michael to celebrate with his family. As they sat around the table, Daniel looked around and realized something important. The happiest moments of his life did not come from his wealth. They came from kindness, connection, and the people who touched his heart. Sarah's simple act of caring for others had changed a billionaire's understanding of what truly matters. She showed him that kindness does not depend on how much money someone has. It depends on how much love they are willing to share. Sometimes, the smallest gesture can create the biggest change. A smile, a helping hand, or a few kind words can bring hope to someone who feels forgotten. This Christmas, and every day after, remember that kindness is a gift everyone can give. You never know whose life you might change with one simple act of compassion. Spread kindness, because the heart you touch today may become the heart that changes the world tomorrow. On a cold Christmas night, a lonely billionaire sat inside his massive mansion, surrounded by everything money could buy but missing the one thing he needed most: love. He had millions in his bank account, but his home felt empty. Then, a simple act of kindness from a struggling mother changed his life forever and showed him that the greatest treasures are not bought with money. Before we begin this heartfelt story, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to Kindness Legacy, where we share inspiring stories that remind us of the power of compassion, hope, and kindness. Daniel Carter was known across America as one of the most successful businessmen in the world. His company had thousands of employees, his name appeared in newspapers, and people admired his wealth. But behind the